Ashford was a town built on whispers, and the Harrington name was always on people's lips. Edward Harrington, the patriarch, had risen from nothing as steel company forged not only fortunes but reputations. His wife, Margaret, was the quiet architect of their social empire, hosting galas that dazzled the town. Their children, Daniel and Clara, grew up in privilege, but privilege does not guarantee peace. Daniel, the eldest, was groomed to lead. He was sharp, ambitious, and ruthless. Clara, the youngest, was gentle, compassionate, and often overlooked. Yet Edward saw something in her, a kindness that could protect the family's legacy in ways Daniel's hunger for power never could. Behind the polished gates of the Harrington mansion, cracks began to show. Daniel resented his sister's closeness to their father. Clara, meanwhile, harbored a secret. She was in love with Michael, a man far outside the Harrington circle. Their romance was tender, but dangerous, for in the Harrington household, love was never free, it was currency, and it came at a cost. Edward's sudden death was a thunderclap. The funeral was grand, attended by politicians, businessmen, and rivals alike, but the true storm came days later. In the reading of the will, in hushed tones, the lawyer revealed the shocking truth. Clara, not Daniel, would inherit controlling shares of Harrington and Co. For Daniel, it wasn't just about money, it was humiliation. He had spent his life preparing to lead, only to be cast aside. Clara, overwhelmed, wanted none of the power. She dreamed of leaving Ashford with Michael, starting a simpler life far from the mansion's shadows. Margaret tried to hold the family together. She urged Clara to be cautious and prayed that grief would not turn to war. But grief is a way of sharpening envy. And envy has a way of becoming obsession. Daniel's envy grew darker by the day. He whispered, too. Board members sowed doubt about Clara's ability to lead. Under the guise of negotiation, Daniel lured Michael into a meeting. The warehouse was cold, dimly lit, and silent. What began as words ended in violence. Michael never returned home. Days later, his body was found staged as a robbery gone wrong. Clara's grief was unbearable. She suspected Daniel, but suspicion is not proof. Detectives began to unravel the lies. Surveillance footage placed Daniel near the warehouse. Financial records revealed bribes. A discarded weapon carried his fingerprints, the feuerwehr. Robbery collapsed. Margaret faced the ultimate choice: protect her son or honor her husband's legacy. She sat in the courtroom, her voice breaking as she testified against Daniel. It was the hardest decision of her life. Daniel was arrested. His empire of manipulation crumbled. The Harrington name became a cautionary tale. Clara walked the empty halls of the Harrington mansion, her footsteps echoing against marble floors. The Harrington legacy survived, but at a terrible cost. A fortune meant to unite the family instead destroyed it today. The mansion stands a monument to betrayal and greed. People say the walls remember the laughter, the whispers and the cries.